Cynthia Jaramillo, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to join us. I wanted to start with who you're targeting Home for Life to. You said when you sort of revealed the expansion of the program that you're looking at people who used to live in Albuquerque and people who can work remotely. What's the thinking behind those folks?
Sure, certainly. Happy to jump in and talk about some of the goals and the targets. So we received very promising early data for the campaign. And like you mentioned, we've expanded our Albuquerque Home for Life campaign from 4 to 11 target cities. The campaign is now also targeting San Francisco, Denver, Phoenix, Dallas, Seattle, New York, Boston, and Washington, D.C. And program performance measurements really show interest and engagement above national averages for advertising metrics. So in just 6 weeks, the campaign's digital ads received almost 34 million impressions and have resulted in nearly 100,000 visitors to the Albuquerque Home for Life website. And so the two target audiences are the remote worker who can really work from anywhere, anywhere across the globe, frankly, and also those boomerangers, those that have left. Maybe they graduated from New Mexico State or the University of New Mexico or Tech, and they decided to leave Albuquerque. And so we are looking to engage those that lived here. We're looking for them to move home.
Okay. You mentioned that early success, sort of getting eyeballs on the campaign. What are the metrics that you're going to be looking toward now as the program gets a little bit more mature in terms of actually getting people not just looking at the website, but making moves here?
Sure. So one thing, so total impressions, I'd like to mention just very briefly, since the campaign launch, total more than 27 million. And so these strong early metrics and major announcements from Intel, Netflix, Orion, Amazon, among others, really indicate that our efforts to bring jobs and workers, to bring the workforce to Albuquerque, are starting, this decade on a far stronger path for growth than last. And some of our future plans include, so this summer, we're expanding our reach to a number of film festivals across the country. The next one being the Sedona International Film Festival. And as the campaign continues and grows, we will analyze the data and make strategic decisions about next steps, as far as increasing the campaign's impact in certain cities, backing off in some markets will happen, or expanding to a new set of, geographic areas and really. And so we will analyze as we move forward with our partners over at Esparza. We will look at the data, and if we need to pivot, again, backing off in some markets or expanding to a new set of geographic areas.
Okay. And who will keep track of who's actually moving here?
Oh, that's a good question. So those are things that, this is, I like to say, and many of us in economic development really refer to economic development as being a really long game. And so when it comes to measuring the success of this campaign, I mean, we will see successes in, in the near year, but also the goal is, and total success is going to happen over time, and will happen probably over the next 10 years.
Okay. And so you'll see sort of the demand for city services, real estate market, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. Our real estate partners, associations, our partners over at Albuquerque Economic Development, again, some of the apartment associations, and again, our realtor partners will be very critical in measuring the success of the campaign.
Okay. Obviously, the housing market is a big deal. Anyone who's shopping for a home right now in Albuquerque is having a tough time. They're paying, according to the Association of Realtors, almost everyone is paying asking price. Quite a few people are paying more which is an issue. And the median home price rose 20% year over year in April. There's a question I think that needs to be asked about, is it wise to bring more people into that market when we clearly don't have enough housing stock?
Well, from an economic development perspective, and back to the recruitment and expansion of companies like recruitment of Amazon and Netflix, and the expansion of several space technology and manufacturing companies, we really, it is our role, not only in my department but the other economic development organizations throughout the city and state. It is our role to make sure that they have a robust workforce, and that pipeline has, as our efforts are to bring jobs, we have to make sure that we're also skilling up workers who live in Albuquerque and throughout the state, but that we're also recruiting workforce in order to maintain, those companies that I mentioned earlier. But back to your question, I mean, it's incumbent upon us and our partners in economic development to work with, our developers to ensure that, that there is housing available as we recruit the workforce to Albuquerque.
Sure. To the extent that you track that, are you able to, I guess, do you have a feel for how soon the housing market will begin to ease? I know there are a bunch of factors at play there, and you mentioned that success for you will play out over the course of maybe a decade. I can't imagine this housing market sustaining itself for a decade. Everyone will just sell eventually. But how does that dynamic play out?
Well, sure. Great question. And as we move into the second phase of the campaign, those are things that we will evaluate. And at that point, again, back to, we may, as the, population begins to grow in Albuquerque, and we continue to recruit workforce to the city and to the state, we'll have to pivot, and we'll have to include, housing as part of our strategic initiatives in economic development. And so I can't say how that it'll play out in the next couple of months, but it will definitely be a part of phase 2 in the campaign, and happy to come back to you and share more as that strategy is being worked on and built out.
Sure. What do you hope these folks do, especially the telecommuters? What do you hope that they do once they're in Albuquerque? Say you get a successful person, what's sort of a best case scenario for you, for the person who moves here? What do they bring to the city?
Oh, so great question. So we do know that Albuquerque is poised to really meet this current moment, thanks to many of our strengths. We talk a lot about the great outdoors, 4 seasons, a wonderfully, temperate climate, 300 plus days of sunshine, great, Albuquerque is really a dream for outdoor enthusiasts, and the city is home to an array of recreational options, from hiking, golfing, skiing. And so truly, what we're looking is we want that remote worker to not only, make Albuquerque home, but we want them to bring, so a remote worker that brings a job with them to Albuquerque. I mean, the ultimate goal is for them to spend money in our city and to contribute to gross receipts taxes, and to frequent our local restaurants, and maybe a remote worker will temporarily reside in one of our hotels, and then eventually decide to move here permanently. And so the goal always of economic development is to bring outside money into the city and into the state. And so the same goal, the goal remains with the remote worker, is for them to bring their work with them, and their money from outside of the city and outside of the state. And we want them to again, spend money in our local restaurants, frequent our small businesses, and and again, ultimately make Albuquerque their home for life. And some remote workers they'll bring their job with them, their remote work, but they may find another opportunity with a company that maybe we've recently recruited to Albuquerque.
Okay, okay. If we could just take about a minute here and think a little bit more broadly. Obviously, we have constraints in terms of things like water. I look at the vista behind you, and the west side obviously has room to grow, but the east side is sort of smack up against the mountains. Is there a way to think about economic development that doesn't involve necessarily growing population? I know that's certainly the traditional way to do it. But is there a way to find that outside money that might not necessarily rely on bringing more people?
Sure, certainly. I mean, absolutely. We have so many, not only tech startups, but creative startups in the city of Albuquerque and throughout the state. And in addition to recruiting new businesses and recruiting workforce to the city, we want to recruit investment. And so in it, as we launch this campaign, the goal is also to catch the eye of the investor who is looking to invest in the next most innovative startup. And so that is another way, is to seek investment outside of the city and outside of the state. And if we can find outside investment to support our locally homegrown tech and creative startups, absolutely, that's another way to promote economic development without necessarily recruiting new workforce or new people to move to the city.
Sure, sure. Well, Cynthia Jaramillo, we look forward to catching up with you a few months down the road to see how things are going, but we thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thank you very much.